Hey, welcome back. We are getting close to being done. Hooray! So today I'm going to talk to you about putting together a proposal. This can actually happen before or after you close. Sometimes clients will want to see a proposal before they actually decide. Others you'll be able to get verbal confirmations from, and then this will be merely just something that they're going to sign. So our goal is to try to convince them verbally to commit, and then they see this. Sometimes a proposal, it doesn't really matter how good a proposal looks. Sometimes just the proposal in and of itself can scare someone out of the water, and they don't even necessarily know why. So when you educate them and get them to a point of verbally confirming, then when they see this, they don't get spooked. And the other thing is you have to do a very good job of prepping them so that this does not spook them. Okay, so there's going to be actual prices on here. There's going to be legal talk on here. So this is the kind of stuff that you need to prep them for before they ever see this. Okay. Now I will say this: the one of the most important pieces of putting together a proposal is not even necessarily how it looks, but it comes during the follow-up. And too many people send off proposals waiting for the client to then make a decision, and then they're waiting a day, 2 days, 3 days, and then 4 days later they're following up. Hey, did you get a chance to see my proposal? And then a lot of times, the person comes back and they say, you know what, I did, and I've been thinking about it. I'm just, I just don't think this is a good time for me, blah, 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 blah. I can't tell you how many times people, personally, I haven't run into that many times. This is just from my own sales training. I haven't seen that many times because I have implemented a very key point to my sales tactics, I guess you could call them, and that is this: you always have a follow-up meeting or a call set before you ever send the proposal. Okay, let me repeat that. You always have a follow-up meeting or a call set up before you ever send the proposal. The reason for that is you get to come in and explain exactly what's on here before they get all these crazy ideas in their mind. Okay, so let's say Joe Landscaper wants me to send him a proposal. And I say, okay, great, I can have that to you tomorrow. And what I'd love to do is I want to go ahead and go over this with you because there are a couple things in here that I'd really like to bring some attention to. So would you be okay if we went ahead and set up a call for 2 p.m. tomorrow? And he'll most likely say, yeah, sure, that's great. And then you say, okay, great, I'll have this sent over before then. And he'll say, okay, awesome. And then you'll say, and if you get a chance, go ahead and look it over. If not, that's A-okay. We'll go ahead and cover all of it in the call. Cool? And then they're usually down for it, okay? It's very non-confrontational. It's very, it sounds pretty normal to them, so it's not a big deal. It's very, very important for us because, like I said before, you're going to get the chance to go in here and really explain this and drive home that we are the best thing since sliced bread, that we are, basically, when they look at those prices, the first thing is they're going to take a step back. And if you're there to make sure that they don't fall off the ledge and you grab them before they fall, that's the whole point of having this follow-up call before having the follow-up call set before you have this proposal sent. If you try to set one up after you send the proposal, the ball is in their court. Okay, the most important part of sales is always keeping control. Okay, you have to make sure you're driving the ship. Once you let the customer, the client, drive the ship, you have lost control, and now you're going to be dictated by wherever they want to go. And at that point, you're probably going to lose the sale. Okay, so even when we're sending over the proposal, this is one of the biggest faults that a lot of salespeople make is they don't actually come in and do the right follow-up after they send that proposal because the proposal is spooky. So anyway, I can say this 1,000 different ways. I think you're kind of getting the point. Just make sure that you have that follow-up meeting set. What I personally like to do is I don't even like to give them much time to look at this at all. So what I will do is I will literally, so if it's Joe Landscaper, I set up that call for 2 p.m. and I say, hey, I'm going to get that sent over to you before the call. I'll probably send it at 1:15, maybe even 1:30. So chances are he may not even see it, and that's fine. What you want him to do ultimately is if you can go through this with them, that's great. So if you enjoy setting up those in-person meetings and you have the ability to do that, and and you're going to go meet the person for this follow-up meeting, then maybe you print this out and bring this with you, or just pull it up on your laptop whenever you go see them, and that can actually be your thing where you say, hey, let's go ahead and meet up, and I'm going to go through this proposal with you. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much exactly what you want to do. You want to be able to go through this with them. Okay. Um, and the last thing that I want to say with that is the the reality is they're still going to have to make a decision. Okay, most of the time, I wouldn't say most, it's kind of 50-50. Some clients will make the decision right there, right when they see it. They say, okay, this is great, I'm down for it, let's sign it and let's go. And hopefully you facilitated enough to get them to do that. But sometimes you just have the client that is just a little hesitant, they need a little bit of a push. So they're going to say, okay, well, hey, this all looks great, give me some time to think about it. And that's when you have to come in. We've talked about this before. You have to come in with the um, you have to somehow come across in a non-salesy way, but still very much drive home that point of, hey, like, we're interviewing other companies in this town, so we will sell this to someone else. So what I would do is when someone says that, I say, okay, well, that's totally fine. Just know that I am going to be calling other people, and this is a first come first serve basis. But what I can do for you, I really do like you a lot. I've already called someone, and they're a good fit, but I actually think you're a better fit, just because I think we would get along a little better, and I think we really want to have a good relationship moving forward too. So what I can do is I can leave this open for 24 hours. And if you can just get back to me at some point tomorrow with the decision, that way I can know either way. And if it's a no, that's totally fine. I will keep going, and we'll probably sell this to someone else in the town. But if it's a go, then I'll go ahead and cancel out the list, and you'll get this, and you'll be the only one to have it. Something like that. And then they're like, oh, okay, well, now, because now you've basically, like, hey, there's a timetable on this, you better make your sinking decision soon. And that very much is true, because you're calling on other companies, and only one's going to get it. Okay, so that pretty much does it for the strategy behind this proposal. Let's actually talk about the proposal itself. This is what it looks like. I've had it pulled up this entire time. This is what it looks like. Pretty clean, pretty sleek. You're actually going to be editing this, okay? Not a whole lot, just depends on what you're selling them, because if you're selling them a custom package of some sort, then you're going to need to be able to play with that and so forth. But this is how the front page looks. So it's got a lot of our past work in here, a lot of clean stuff, elegant websites, lead generation, branding, social media, web and mobile. This is what we do. And just a brief description. Every client's going to get the same first 2 or 3 pages, okay? So and then we've got a little thing across the side here. So something that just looks really clean. We're really trying to drive home the point of, like, hey, like, we're a legit company. We do good work, because we do, and so forth, okay? Coming on down here, we've got the scope of the project, okay? So this is not really something that you're really going to have to edit much. And the current position, okay, this right here is where you are going to describe where they are at. Okay, so you've done the research. Now you have actually got to write. Yay, you're going to be a little writer. Who knew you'd be a little author? I'm just kidding. I'm like totally demoralizing you before you ever start. The fact is, like, this writing is not bad. You don't need to. This doesn't need to be super complex. It doesn't need to be PhD level writing by any means. Just make sure that it's professionally done. Okay, so use good grammar, use well-written sentences. We don't want stuff that just looks like crap, okay, or sounds like crap either. You don't want to use the words. Stay away from the words like. Don't use. I don't need to go through how to write. Hopefully you know how to write. If you really don't feel comfortable writing, then let someone know, and we'll try to figure out what to do. So anyway, this current position, this is what's going to describe where they are at. So this might be talking about how you have a current website, it doesn't fit the design of 2017, it doesn't really do a good job of funnel systems, your SEO is non-existent. Basically, you're just going to tell them, kind of in a nice way, all of the things that is wrong with their current system. And what we're doing is we're painting a picture of, hey, you have a legitimate problem. You need us. So that's what the current position is for. Like, in a very nice professional way, you insinuate that you suck, okay? That your system is not where it needs to be, and what that is going to do is it's pre-framing them as they read that we have the answer for them. Okay, it's all going back to the previous training. Everything is about pre-framing. You have got to pre-frame every chance you get. So this proposal is no different. This up here, we're saying that we're hot stuff. Okay, we're a big deal because look at, I mean, we've done some amazing work, and it's clean. We got elegant design. We're not just a bunch of geeks who can code. We are beautiful. What is it? We design beautiful websites and grow social platforms. We're not just geeks who understand the big picture. Or no, you are getting geeks who understand the big picture of how enterprises move and operate. So really driving home that point that, hey, we're not just some stupid little design firm. We know what we're doing. Okay. Anyway, so that's what the current position is for. You're really just going to drive home that point. Pre-frame, pre-frame, pre-frame. You're going to pre-frame that. So basically point out all their problems. And then this right down here is how we're going to answer that. The lead generation website, this is going to explain what we do, and you can read through this whenever you pull up your Canva, but you're going to read through this and you're going to figure out, okay, this is what we're saying. A unique website will be built for this specific industry, and you're going to put theirs in. This was a pool cleaning and pool services company. This could be landscaping, roofing, plumber, whatever. So you're going to put that in here, and then you're going to follow pretty much the same layout. We're going to build a custom website along with all content, images, and navigation layouts. This website will be specifically designed to rank on Google. So the content will be the key part of the website. The content will be, and then you're going to explain kind of what we're going to be doing. And again, you don't really have to mess with a whole lot in there. You can read through, make sure that it makes sense for that client. Sometimes you make it an out-of-the-box client that you're going to need to edit that for. Okay, just make sure you're reading through this. And as a rule of thumb, make sure that you're not sending this off before you proofread the entire thing. I'm dead serious. Read the entire thing word for word before you send it. There's probably going to be a mistake in there. Make sure you catch it. Just makes us look very unprofessional when there's a mistake. Okay, customer acquisition strategy. This is our SEO. Remember, we don't say SEO. It's a buzzword we do not use in our vocabulary. We call it customer acquisition strategy. Okay, this is, let's see, CAS will be an important aspect of reaching potential customers for your company. The strategy is going to be based around a mixture of title tags, backlinks. So again, this is going to describe in more detail what we're going to do with the SEO, but we call it CAS. We're going to talk about posting it up to Google My Business and so forth. We got some more examples here, just driving home the point again that we know what we're doing in the design field. Got a little testimonial here. And then this is where we're getting down to the pricing, okay? So as we've talked about, the pricing is pretty flexible. Pretty much whatever you can get is what we're going for, and we'll try to continue to provide you more and more education in terms of what to price out at. But for this one, this was a basic $500 a month package for the CAS. The website setup always $9.95. That's going to stay the same, and the monthly CAS. So that's where you've got a lot of flexibility. If you can get away with $1,500 a month, great. If you can get away with $2,500 a month, great. If it's $500 a month, okay. But that's where you're going to go in here. You're going to be the one to edit all this, okay? Payment schedule and payment terms. This is the deliverable and the milestone. So when are they paying? The website setup, they're going to pay that upon start. Before we ever even get going, they're going to pay that $9.95. That is what, when they sign this contract, they will pay the $9.95, okay? And then the monthly CAS, that's due on the 5th of each month. So we're going to set them up on a, we'll get them to fill out a credit card form, and we're going to get them on basically on an auto payout every single month. It's going to come out at the 5th of each month, and that's what they can expect, okay? The monthly CAS will start the following month of the first lead sent your way. Very important. That's a big sell point for a lot of people. And we've talked about that. I think I've hammered that home probably 1,000 times. It's a big sell point. Use it, okay? They're not going to pay crap until they get a lead, except for this, except for the $9.95, of course. But that's their risk, okay? It'll span a 12-month. So this is where we'll talk in a later training video on the flexibility you have to play with contract durations, to play with pricing, to offer things, and to pull up things off the table. But as a rule of thumb, we're always going to try to get them on a 12-month contract if we can. If you can only get 12, or you're going to get 6 months, okay, that's fine. If this is a 3-month rev share, that actually changes things quite a bit, and you'll need to change that in here. Okay, so what we would do here would be we would change the language, and it would be based entirely on a 20% or whatever you agree upon 3-month rev share. So that you would go in here and basically put monthly CAS, and then you would do the amount, and this would be 20% rev share per month for 3 months. And then you can draw that out however you want, and then down here you're going to describe that. Okay, so monthly CAS will be, that's where you'd say like the monthly CAS will be a 20% rev share for the first 3 months, and after 3 months we will renegotiate a deal or something like that. Okay, if you end up having that and you're unsure of where to go or how to design that or how to say that, we'll try to have some notes beside the video for how to do that. But if you still have questions, make sure you ask someone about it. We'll be sure to get that answered and be sure to get the contract put together correctly. Okay. Okay, moving on down. This is just all the boring stuff. You're not going to touch this really. This is just our limits of liability. The social media and Google policies is just basically saying that in case Facebook or Google somehow penalizes us or does something that's not our fault. Social media and Google policies. Oh, this says that the website, okay, this is very important. The website will be owned. Oops, that's a typo right there. Okay, this will be changed by the time you see this. This should be not social media and Google policies. This should be website or ownership of website or something. But the website will be owned by Sagalo Media, but it will be branded to fit the client. Should you choose to discontinue services with Sagalo Media, we reserve the right to brand the website for a new client and utilize the same content. Very important. Make sure that they understand that. Okay, when you're going through this with them, make sure that they understand that. Call tracking. This is also very important. Make sure that they know that we can listen in on their phone calls. Really play up the point that call tracking is not necessarily for us to hold them accountable, but it's for them to be able to go back through and listen to their calls if they want to. Okay, very important. Most business owners will never do this, but it's a way for us to basically nicely say, hey, we're listening in to all of your calls, so don't screw us. Expected outcome. This is saying that, and you're going to need to, but I'm just saying, I'm going through this right now because you're going to need to explain this to them. Okay, expected outcome. Client understands that Sagalo Media does not guarantee any specific results or sales for this project. All strategy, design, and development will be set forth to fully complete stated implementation, but SMD is not responsible for direct results. Okay, so that's just basically covering our butts in case everything heads south and we suck. Okay. Place of law, this is what you are going to need to edit. If you're in California, switch to California. If you're in Minnesota, New Jersey, New York, Florida, wherever, Texas, make sure you change that. Do not forget to do that. Okay, contract renewal. This client agrees that this contract will be in effect for this agreed upon duration and can be renewed to run. Yep, that's actually a typo as well. Oof, good thing I'm reading this. Okay, contract renewal. That's just basically going to say that they can renew at any time, and it's going to be for the duration of the contract. Okay. Okay, authorization to commence work. This is where they're going to sign, and we're going to sign right here. This is something where we have to sign. So I'm actually going to sign this. I'm always going to sign off on these contracts until we get to a point to where we have someone else in the company that is going to be writing this off. Right now, all of these, when you have this proposal ready to go and they sign it, be sure that if my signature is not already on here, which it probably will, but if it's not already on here, make sure that you send this off to me. We have to make sure that they have a copy as well. So once they sign it, you're gonna email it off to me or Slack me a message, and I'm gonna sign it and I'll send it back to you, and then you send it back to them. Okay. So when you're redesigning in Canva, that's where it creates some challenges because you're gonna basically export the PDF, and then it's not gonna have the signature on it at that point. Okay, so then we have to basically figure out, okay, well, Daniel still needs to sign it, and anyway, that's when he sent it off to me, okay? Hopefully we'll have a better solution for that in the future, but if we do, then great. Okay, so this is what the whole thing looks like, and what I'm going to show you now is we're going to go into Canva. Okay, so best place to do that, you're going to have your training pulled up right here. We have the what it looks like right in here. Just go ahead and click on this lead generation proposal right there. So we've got this, and then we're going to have some notes here. That's not even there yet, but you're probably like seeing some Inception like crap right now because you're like watching this video, but now you're like seeing it, and now it's like a dream within a dream within a dream, and you're probably super confused, and you're like probably getting all nauseous. Okay, I'm done. All right, lead generation proposal, go ahead and click on it. This is going to pull up Canva, okay? Now, if you don't already have an account, you're gonna need to set one up, and you're gonna see a different screen than I do right now. So from that screen, just follow all the prompts to go create an account. And then you're going to end up in a place like this where you're going to see a shared document. All right, so you're going to click on this, and then hopefully you're going to see this now. And you're going to click Use this template. Listen up, very, very important. Do not edit the original version. Okay, I don't even know how you would, but do not edit the original version. So what I want you to do is you're going to use this as a template. And just to be safe, this should open up a new one, okay? But just to be safe, we are going to duplicate this, okay? We have got to duplicate it. We do not want to edit over our past stuff, okay? Now, the way that we're going to do that, once this thing pulls up, it's taking a minute to load. So this is Canva, and what I want you to do now is you're going to hit your Command or Control button. You're going to open up a new tab. You're going to hit this Canva logo right here. All right? Okay, so you're going to be seeing something like this. Most likely it's not going to be in here, so you're going to need to go over to Shared with You. Okay? Now, in mine, it's not going to show it because I've created it, but you're going to see something like this, okay? And you're going to need to go in and hit the duplicate. Okay, so there should be a little drop down right here that comes down. You're going to hit that and you're going to do make a copy. All right, so you're going to make a copy and then it's going to open up a new one into this version. Okay, now when you hit use as template on the prior screen, it should have opened up a new document and you should be okay, but this is just to make sure that you're creating on a new one, okay? All right, so let's talk about Canva. Let's talk about how to use it. This is all drag and drop. This is why we use it. Some companies will use Word, some companies use PowerPoint. We use Canva for two reasons. One is we can drag and drop everything, and two, it's cloud sourced, okay, or cloud based. So you can get on this from your phone, you can get on this from anywhere in the world, and you don't have to have Microsoft Word, which Microsoft Word is like the 1990s version of, I hate Microsoft Word. Let's not talk about it. Okay, sorry about that. My computer froze, so we're back. We were talking about how much I hate Microsoft Word. Okay, anyway, what we're going through here now, the downside of Canva. I want to go over that. One of the only downsides of Canva is you're not going to be able to just insert extra content and then everything pushes down below it. You're going to have to put in when you, like, for instance, I went in here and I went ahead and put in extra content and it pushed this box down. And what I would have to do is I'd actually have to pull out and drag everything down beneath it. So little bit of a downside, but the upside of being able to drag and drop literally everything wherever we want it, it far surpasses the downside of having to just push content down. Okay, one tip, if you are having to add content, make sure that you're just going to go through in one fluid motion. Don't add the content and then I'm going to like move these down and try to get this all perfect, and I'm going to push all this down and get it all perfect, and push all this down and get it all perfect, and then I add more content here, and then I have to go through and do the exact same thing again. Just go through in one full swoop, okay, and just don't try to like get it perfect each time. Get it perfect at the end, all right? Okay, so let's actually go over how to use Canva. Like I said, it's all drag and drop, and it's kind of controlled through different elements, okay? So we can pull text. So let's just start here. Search, you can search anything you want. So let's say you wanted to search an element of some sort or like a line. So I can type in line, hit enter, and this is going to pull up different lines. And the way that you do it is you grab one of these and you grab it and pull it over. release, and it's in there. And then you can resize. I can go move it down here. I can go up here and change the color and go to black. I can change the transparency of it right there. Pretty cool. I can, let's say I wanted to put it behind that Segalo Media logo. I can go to arrange. I can go to the back and it'll send it behind it. You see how that works? Pretty cool. But actually that line's really disgusting, so I'm going to delete it. We don't need it anyway. Just kind of giving you an example. So line, I could pull up a square, whatever I want. The way that you find these, I could go to elements right here, and I can go to shapes to look at those square, circle, heart, whatever. I don't know why you'd ever want to use some of these for a proposal, but I'm just kind of giving you an example. Lines. I love Canva. I don't even know what that is. Icons. We may want to pull in an icon of some sort. Really no idea why you'd want to do that, but just giving you an example. Just showing you how this thing works. Text. Let's say I wanted to add a text element. For this, the easiest thing to do would just be to grab one of these, like click in on it, and then hit copy. And then that's going to duplicate it right there. Okay, but I don't want that. I could just delete by pressing the delete sign. The delete button on my keyboard. Okay, and the but let's say you did want to just pull in some random text. You can just grab this and drag it over, and then just make sure you're always matching fonts. If you're doing any design work at any point, you're always going to need to match fonts. Don't put random fonts in with each other. It's like trying to match, like I don't know, like if I'm wearing a blue top and light blue pants, like it just looks really bad. Okay, like things have got to match together. You can't be matching nasty things together. The fonts have to go. So I would click in on one of these, and I would see the font is up here in the right up here. This is Montserrat. So I would go here. I would make sure I change that font heading or the font type to Montserrat. There's a ton of things to pick from, but that's what we're using for the proposal right now. Go down here, and there's 3 different ones. Make sure you get the right one. So the one that this was set on was Montserrat. Not the light, not the hairline. It was set on that one. That was this. These are, click on that, Montserrat light. All right, make sure that you see the differences. And then there's sizing too. You can size these however you want them. Let's say you did end up having to add content somewhere and you're like, gosh dang it, I'm gonna have to redo the whole thing. Like, just resize it, see if you can play with it. Like if I couldn't fit this stuff on the same page, I might take this right here. Let's say that this was just too big. I would do Command A or Control A, highlight all of it. I go here and like maybe type in like a 13 just to shrink it. Look at that, just shrunk it a little bit. All right, just that you can play around with this however you want to make stuff fit. Whoops, looks like this thing doesn't want to let me go back. I gotta highlight the text. Okay, we already talked about what you're gonna write in here. You're gonna keep this the same. This front page, you're gonna keep that. The first 2 pages, you're gonna keep the exact same. You're gonna keep the layout the exact same. This proposal will include the build of a lead generation website. We'll talk in a later video about, if you're going to offer social media, you'd come in here and do that as well. Current position, this is where you're going to go in. You're going to start describing this company specifically. So I would say, currently, you suck. Your business is god awful, and I'm honestly not sure how you stayed in business this long. If I were you, I would have given up. Anyway, don't say that. Just make sure you're going in, you're telling them some specific things about what they should do or what they've got going on. It's not working for them. Okay. Now my computer's lagging. Apparently it didn't like that. Okay, there we go. All right, so guys, this is pretty straightforward. Oh, if you need to upload an image, let's say we need you to add in, or let's say you're doing you want to add in some screenshots of their website. Okay, you could go to like, I think what were we doing the other day? MVP Electric. That was what we used in our example. Their crap website. let's check that out. So let's say we wanted to put a, guys, is it just me or did this company just get a brand? It's been a day since I recorded that other training. It looks like they just posted up a brand new website. That's hilarious. Unless I'm going crazy here, but I'm almost sure that was the, I want to go check that out right now, actually. That's really funny. Okay, so MVP Electric. Okay, I don't want to waste your time. I'll look at this in another at another time. I'm just very curious. That's pretty funny. But anyway, you might want to like grab a screenshot of their website and then pull it in. If that's what you were wanting to do, then you're going to go to this uploads right here, upload your own images. You would upload that, and then it's going to go into right here, and then you can take that and you're going to click on it and drag it over. Boom, now it's in there. You can resize it. Again, you can play with the transparency. You could even play with a filter. You could put something on it. You can make it brighter, darker. You could crop it however, whatever you want. Cool. All right. Going on down here. Okay, this is where this is like the most important part because you're going to be needing to edit the pricing. Okay, so you can zoom in down here. I was in the way this whole time. Your zoom in is on the bottom right hand corner. Okay, so the way that we've built this inside of Canva is all of the text is editable, but the box sizing really is not a whole lot. Like we basically just pulled in an image of a box and then we wrote text in on top of it. Canva doesn't have an option to actually put the tables in. So you're gonna have to make sure that this all looks right. So really the only thing that you're gonna have to change for these lead generation websites is going to be the pricing. You might want to go in and say, let's say we sold it for $1,500 a month. You basically just click on here, click on that, $1,500 a month. Click on this one, $1,500 a month. Okay, make sure that it's still centered. You can drag it. It's going to give you some lines to make sure that it's lined up with the things above it. Okay, and then down here we would go through and change this. I'm still in the way. On this milestone deliverable, this is, remember, 1,500 each month, 1,500 on the 5th of each month. Let's say that we only got them, actually, this is a good example. I want to show you. Let's say this was a 20% rev share. Let's say that we could not get them to agree to anything except the 20% rev share for 3 months right now. Okay, so the monthly CAS, what we would do right here is going to be a 20% rev share per month. And I'm just going to highlight that and copy it. And I'm literally going to just copy and paste that over to here and do that as well. Okay, so now this is where the monthly CAS, 5th of each month, that's going to stay the same. They're going to pay that 20% rev share out before the 5th of the following month. Okay, so budget percentage not available for that one. The amount's going to be, again, a 20% rev share per month. Okay, so monthly CAS will start the following month the first lead sent your way. That stays the same. Monthly CAS will, this is where we're going to write our own thing, okay? Monthly CAS will span a 3-month trial period for 20% of the revenue generated by Segalo Media's lead generation system. After 3 months, after the 3-month, space is going to drive me nuts. After the 3-month trial period, if this thing ever loads, I think I just froze. After the 3-month trial period, both parties will renegotiate an agreement moving forward. Okay, so something like that. And if you need to literally copy that word if you need to copy that literally word for word, be my guest. I just wrote that, but that's pretty much. I don't actually have a contract of a 20% rev share that we've done in the past up right now. It's actually not even on this computer; it's on my laptop. But we do have those ready to go if you need to see those. Okay, we've already talked about this. Make sure you go in and edit the state. Okay, we can get in a lot of trouble if you don't. Let's say this one's Florida. If I knew how to spell Florida. Oh my goodness. That was difficult. All right, coming down here, the last thing you're going to change on this last page is their company name. Okay, so you're going to go through here. Let's say it's Joe Landscaper. I'm getting a call from what? Look at that. What the F is that? Should I answer it on the training call? I'm kind of, it ended. Sorry, missed it. That was really weird. I normally wouldn't have done that, but that was really weird. I've never seen that before. Okay, anyway, Joe Landscape, a little bit of an ADD moment. So you're going to put their company name in there. If they're an LLC, make sure you put LLC. All right, so you're going to make sure that you get their whole business name in there. It's got to be official. And then whoever their whatever is going to sign it. The by is where they sign their signature. If they ask, they're going to be like, oh, well, what do I sign? The by is where they put their signature. Printed name, they're going to print that out. Title is going to be founder, president, whatever, and then the date. Okay, so we're almost done. The next thing we're going to do is you have to so this thing's all finished up. Now you're going to download it as a PDF. Okay, so you're going to go to this download. You're going to go to here. You're going to PDF standard. You can do print. It doesn't really matter, either or. So you're going to download that. Okay, so it's going to take a minute because it's a pretty big file. The last thing that I'm going to show you is how to e-sign in Adobe. This is very important because you people, it sounds like that's my grandpa always says. My grandpa always says like you people. It just sounds like so cold and mean. Anyway, you guys who are traveling and you're still trying to sell, you're obviously not going to be able to get people to sign in person. So you're going to have to show them how to sign. Screw that. I already have one of these pulled up. I'm just going to show you. You need to know how to tell them to sign, okay? And you might have to get on a call with them because some of these business owners are very non-tech savvy. That's why we have a job. Okay, so they're going to pull up their Adobe. Make sure they have Adobe installed. If they don't, tell them to Google Adobe and go in and download the Adobe Acrobat Reader, okay? From there, what you're going to do is have them zoom out for them to be able to see or whatever. And then you're going to scroll down to, man, my computer's lagging. I blame you because we're doing a video. Okay, so what they're going to do, you're going to scroll down to the page that we are wanting to sign, okay? Now from there, you're going to go on this right-hand toolbar. You're going to go to Fill and Sign. And this is going to go inside of the Fill and Sign, whatever you want to call it, inside of Adobe. It's actually a separate thing, so it's going to pull up just this page. Okay, and here's our toolbar across the top. First, we're going to type in our name. So click on that. I have to double click it, and then you're going to click right inside there. Okay, so I would type in Daniel C. Sigalo. I'm going to move this and center it. This is exactly how you're going to tell them to do it. So you're going to click on that little AB icon, and then you're going to click inside a printed name. Title, president, and date. 2/9/2017. That's the date today. Okay, so here's the hard part. It's getting them to actually get their signature in there. Half the time they're going to be like, I have no idea how to do this. They're going to have to draw it. Okay, so you're going to go click sign up here, and there's going to be, I already have my signature in here and I'm not going to delete it because it was hella hard to do it, but there's going to be a place where they can put a plus. It's going to be add signature. You should see an add signature, and then you hit that plus sign, and what's going to happen is this thing's going to come up, and you want them to draw, not type. You want them to draw. So you're going to click on the draw, and then they're literally going to use their mouse to do their thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. Make sure that they realize, they're going to say, oh, this looks like crap. This doesn't look anything like my signature. That's okay, as long as it remotely looks like their signature, okay? So It's really not that hard if they have a mouse. A trackpad's even better. It's a lot easier to control. Like if I'm gonna do, here's my signature. I don't know if I should be doing this while you watch, because that's, it's not good. The other thing that you can do, okay, if they're like, it's just not working at all, you can do this image thing, and this is going to pull up. They can draw the image on on a piece of paper, and make sure it's a white piece of paper, and then have them send that to you, and then you can actually put that in on the PDF, and then you would upload that image onto here. Don't let them do that. That's going to take them forever. Be very difficult. Just you can be flexible with this. We just don't want to do the type. Okay, we don't want to type it. I would already have mine here, so what I would do is I'm just going to go here. I'm going to pull this down to here. If this thing wants to move, oh my gosh. Move this down into there, and boom, that looks like I actually signed it, because I did. So, all right, so that's pretty much it. Now what you would do is make sure, again, you have that follow-up meeting set, and you're going to go over your Gmail, and you already have make sure you're sending it from your Sagalo Media email, and make sure your banana tag is open, and you're going to send that off to them with the banana tag tracking system on it, and make sure that you're sending this. Let's say like, hey, I'm going to be gone tomorrow. Let's say our call's tomorrow at 2 p.m. and I'm not going to have time to send this thing in the morning because I'm going to hike a mountain or whatever. I'll be back around 1. Set your banana tag to send it out at 1 p.m. tomorrow. So it sends out an hour beforehand. That's the amazing thing about banana tag, is you can send it, you can tell it to send whenever you want. All right, so just make sure that that's going in about like an hour or 2 hours before that call. Okay, so that pretty much does it for this video. That you should know how to pretty much build a proposal by now. If you have any questions, let us know. Other than that, have fun. All right, see ya.